love me when I'm in it, and she never be pretending. Nothing is rent. She gon' tell you what she bought it, cause she know you can't afford it. Know you can get it, looking exquisite, no competition.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm getting ready to bring on Miss MJ. I cannot wait for you guys to meet her. She is the publicist behind, everyone. Flipmode Squad, JoJo, Rampage, you name it. She's worked with them, and she used to be a DJ, so we can get some great tips from her. Can't wait to have her on. Miss MJ, or Marissa Savino. My thing is covering up your face. Hold on.
Oh,
no. The graphics are great until you can't see you.
Right?
So how are you? How's everything going?
I'm very well, thank you. It's a pleasure to finally be on your platform. I'm excited.
So am I. I just want to jump right into it because you've had such an extensive career. You've started as a writer, and now you're the hip hop publicist of hip hop publicists. So just tell us how you got your start. That's a pretty exciting start, I would say.
Well, it's kind of crazy how it all started. By nature, I'm a writer. So writing and music is kind of a unit for me. I first began writing when I was 9 years old, published when I was 9. And I've always been a hip hop head, always. It was the women in hip hop that did it for me, that truly inspired
so who are your
me.
favorites?
Definitely MC Light, Queen Latifah, Yo-Yo, all the women, because they just set such a precedent that you can be your own person, and they shine, and they outdid everything in a male-dominated industry, which is phenomenal.
And they were so respectful then too. Like they really promoted unity and girl power and kind of working together.
Yes.
It's a completely
and when you're a teenager trying to, find yourself and your identity, and it's these women who are telling you that, look, you don't have to sell yourself. You don't have to be all out there.
Who you calling a
body parts?
Look, to quote Yo-Yo, who you calling a beat? Oh wait, was that her?
No, that was Latifah.
That was Latifah. Wait. I'm like, wait, that wasn't her. Like I caught myself.
Right.
But still,
that was inspiring. That was definitely inspiring to me. Ironically, I went into the field of social work for 15 years, which is kind of similar if you think about it. But I started really writing for blogs, I want to say back in 2011. And from there, literally, it just kind of took off. Other blogs started to pick me up. Artists came to me for interviews, and to kind of promote them on different platforms and different opportunities. And then I did an interview with Rampage years ago, probably back in 2009. And me and his manager and him have been, in touch ever since. And that really opened up the door for me as well. So he plays, a major role in everything that I do.
So how did you guys met originally? You were interviewing him. Was that for a blog or for the radio station?
It was for a blog.
Okay.
It was for a blog. Lyrically Fit was a huge platform in Philadelphia. They offered placement in blogs, magazines, performance opportunities. They did everything. And that was really the door that opened up everything for me. And he was one of the very first, major artists that I interviewed. And he's a phenomenal interview. I love him.
Oh my gosh, he's so much fun. It was hilarious trying to interview him while he was driving around with his mask on and different. I'm trying to remember everything. I just remember it kept going in and out because he was driving. Right. But he's like, the money don't stop just because I have an interview. I'm like, hey, look, I hear you. That's the joy of being mobile, is that I can go wherever you go.
Exactly.
I didn't mind it at all. And even with Yo-Yo, it was hilarious with her because she's your client, so I'm bringing it up. It was hilarious how she would have different family members come in. It almost felt like we were in the kitchen with Yo-Yo. You're
with her.
This isn't, company is here, but I'm gonna play family. I'll do it.
Right.
It's amazing.
But that's just how real they are. They're so real. They're so down to earth. It's incredible. It really is. And when you first speak to them, you really don't think that that's how they're going to be, just because, based on the personas that you see, they're incredible. I love everyone that I work with. They're like family at this point now.
I can only imagine what it's like for you. So you've been with them since 2009. Is there, you have a lot of different artists you work with. Is there any artists that you're still kind of hoping to work with that you haven't yet?
Definitely the Queen.
Okay.
That's on my bucket list.
I can't say I
right
don't blame
now,
you.
yes.
Yeah.
Right now I work with, with some of the major artists. I also work with up and coming artists and
Okay.
established artists. So and working with up and coming artists is really, really rewarding. And that's where I kind of think it relates to social work, because, you meet them at a time where they really don't have much. Some of them don't even have social media platforms or music platforms. They really don't have anything. So being a part of that artist development for them and watching them grow and grow, through the months and years, it's like a child. It's like one of your child,
Yeah.
That for me is really rewarding. You definitely can't put a price tag on that.
So speaking of that, because I can't even imagine what your DMs look like, but I get constant new music DMs, and I don't really know what to do with that except for to be like, hit up MJ. That's all I pretty much know what to do. Or I'll ask you, hey, by the way,
Right.
how do they get on? And now I'm just kind of like, cut the middleman, go straight to MJ.
Go to MJ.
What would you suggest for new and upcoming artists? How can they reach out to you? How can they get in touch with you to take that next step if they're ready for it? And how do they know they're ready for that next step, even for that?
Right.
Yeah.
And even if they're not ready for that next step, we can always talk and, offer advice and guidance on how they can get to that next step.
Okay.
Like I said, I've worked with artists that really maybe only had one single out, had no music platforms, no distro or anything. And now they're opening up, for major artists. The only thing that I'm really, really picky about is how artists approach me.
Okay.
So if you're sending me an email and there's absolutely nothing in the body of the email except the music, I'm not going to press play.
Okay.
And it can be the next biggest hit. You could be the next big, Jay-Z. But if you don't properly, introduce yourself and sell yourself, I'm not going to press play.
That's the way I feel. I'm like, they're not even saying please or thank you. They just send you the link. Like, what am I supposed to do with this?
And what am I supposed to know what it's for? Because I'm part of a lot of different platforms and opportunities. Am I supposed to just guess what's happening here?
Exactly.
Nothing, no kind of introduction. That's a total turn off for me.
Agreed.
Absolutely. But I'm very accessible. mjshiphopconnex across the board on all social media. I encourage people definitely to hit me up. I love to hear new music. I'm a fan of all music. Good music is good music, regardless of the genre.
Yeah. So since you said you are definitely a hip hop head, but you enjoy all different kinds of music, is there a kind of music that you think is going to, I guess, be the next best thing, or I don't even say the kind of music, but maybe that you can see things are changing a little bit in the industry? Have you noticed any of that?
I do see a lot of changes.
I'm kind of over certain kinds of music and
hoping
that you're going to say some good things.
Well, for me, I'm the type of person where if I don't like it, then I won't listen to it. I won't put the artist down. I won't knock the music because they created something. They're getting some kind of fan base from it. They're getting money from it. I admire that hunger and their motivation. So just if I don't like it, I'm just not going to press play. I'm not going to down it in any way. But I do see a big trend in hip hop that's changing. It's definitely evolving, and I think that's a positive thing. I would like to see us get to the point where, the older generation and the new generation can kind of come together, because I think both can learn and grow from each other. We're hearing a lot of young artists that are starting to incorporate some of the old sounds of hip hop into their new sounds of hip hop, which I'm a fan of. So I think it's a positive thing. I mean, there's also negative things in hip hop, like there isn't any genre of music, but I definitely like to try and focus, on the positive. And I think it's evolving in a lot of different directions.
I would agree with that. Now, I'm looking back at some of the I'm sorry, I got all distracted. Some of the artists that you worked with, I'm trying to figure out how to word this question in a way where you get what I mean. Okay. I really, really back in the day used to love DOS effects. And then I saw that in your thing. Yes. And there's no one like them out right now. No. Not even close. And I think it's a kind of music that I think people would enjoy this time, or this, like stuff like that. But are there any other artists that you can think back that there's not anyone that's really like them, but you would love to see that kind of music kind of come back then? Or
definitely. They're definitely one of a kind. I'm a huge Onyx fan. They're one of a kind.
Well, I have a special place for Fredro Starr.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, because I worked with him on the movie Strapped, and my cousin reminded me it was Strapped, or that Rampage was there too.
Yes.
Because I thought I worked with Rampage on a different movie just because it was all hip hop. Like it was everybody from YoMTV Raps was basically there. So I just assumed because Busta Rhymes was on that one as well. But I have a special place. He was so nice to us. My cousin and I both had the biggest crush, which we were completely illegal, like maybe 10 years younger than him.
Right.
But so he'll always have a special. So yes, I would love to see another Onyx type group. Yes,
definitely.
I agree with that. Okay,
there's a lot of artists that I think in our generation, you know, their goal and their mindset was to make timeless music. You know, you can put in any Onyx track, any DOS Effects track, any of the old school, you know, artists, you can put them in your, I still have a CD player. So I say CD player.
Me too. My car is still CD. I mean, I don't even have an aux cord option.
See?
But the new Lexuses, there's too many blind spots. So I'm like, nah, I'm keeping my old one. But whatever.
My CD player. But you can listen to music that was, you know, put out in the 90s and still get that same vibe and that same energy that you would if you put it on today. And that's timeless music. And I think that's a major part that's missing from music in general in this era. Is making that timeless music, because people are so focused on, you know, the now and what's popping now and, you know, wanting to make all the money right now, that they're forgetting that I'm not going to listen to this in 10 years.
And I think now one thing that at least I hope other people are noticing as well is a lot of the music that now that we're all quarantined with our families, we're realizing we can't play around our kids. And that's like a lot of the hype music I normally would listen to before going on. I'm like, oh yeah. Hey kiddo, can't really listen to what mommy wants. So I'm noticing I'm changing my music interests and like even my playlist. Because I can't play it around my daughter. And I'm hoping that a lot more celebrities, rappers, whoever, film industry in general are noticing that as well. And just like, why are we creating things that we can't listen to or watch around our kids without it having a meaningful point? Like I remember, I can't remember who said it or who rapped the song, but there used to be a song about, maybe her name was Sally. Some people don't like, I don't know. But it was this whole story where you heard all these things that men were mistreating her and so on. And all these different things because of certain things. And it was like an educational message to it. And I think that's another thing at least I'm feeling the void for.
I think a lot of what's happening now with the younger generation too is they're focused more on the beats and the sound instead of what they're saying and the lyrics and the bars. I think to them it's more of the music and the sound. But you're right, there's a lot of messages that are not out there anymore. You know, that lyricism, that conscience rap, it's not there.
It's not.
But it is.
But I have heard it on the Heat DJ, which I was about to bring up.
I was just going to say that. You know, that conscious, you know, rap, that lyricism, you know, the music that tells a story, it is out there. You just have to look. You know, I wish it was more to the forefront that it should be. Unfortunately, it's not.
Like how is consumers
out there?
Well, how can we help with that? Because I mean, I know the radios and different things. There's that buffer. There's the gatekeepers that keeps good music to get into consumers. Well, what can we do, or what options are there for us to help support rappers that maybe aren't well known but are really good? Like, how can we help get them to that point?
Right. Share.
Okay.
I mean, that's all we really can do is share. You know, it's hard to pinpoint exactly one thing that we can do to keep them in the limelight or bring them to the forefront. That's one of the things that, you know, I work hard at doing with the blogs and the magazines and the radio campaigns. So people are aware that there is good music out there that has a message. There's a lot of indie artists out there, established artists that are mixing, you know, old school sounds and new school sounds, but with such pivotal messages. And one of those artists is Notes 82. He has an incredible track out right now called No Justice, No Peace. Yeah. Notes
I'm
82.
sure that's not spelled that way. NOTES or
yes, NOTES 82, the number 82. And he just dropped his new single, No Justice, No Peace. And that is an incredible track. And again, he's got all the sounds incorporated. He's got the drums, he's got the bass, he's got the piano, he's got the little bit of mixing in there and the scratching, and then he's got the new sounds too. And then his message. Everything is perfect from beginning to end. So they are out there.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know.
Definitely.
Well, I know that between you and Rampage, you guys always send me the latest, keep me up to date. And I
Yes.
noticed today he sent me that he did a podcast, Prince versus MJ.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm curious, any other battles you would like to see that hasn't been done yet?
You know what? Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of this whole battle thing. This
I
whole
haven't seen one.
quarantine,
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
do battle thing.
Okay.
I can't even say that I've watched one yet.
Me either.
I don't know why. I don't know.
I
know what
tried
it
to
is.
watch the one, but with Teddy Riley
Yes,
and
Babyface.
Babyface. And it was frozen the entire time, and I thought it was me until I found out it was everybody. I was like, ah! Because I called my internet like, what is going on? I mean, I had to come out Friday because I was for real like, what is going on? Like it's a constant battle. Speaking of battles, trying to make sure. Oh, and look, somebody's sharing other new artists that are coming out. So D-Way Austin, my nephew, is amazing new artist. Well, hit him up, send him to MJ.
Yeah, send him
She's
my
the lady.
way.
She'll help
Let
him.
me check it out.
For sure, because so tell everyone about the Heat DJ, because I mean, I absolutely adore it. I missed last month, so I feel kind of out of the loop. Right. But I know the month before that, there was some new music that was from DJ Cool, which I'm still waiting to hear out.
Yes.
Out. I mean, I know I heard it on the number, and it was amazing. It was called Cha Cha. I'm gonna go ahead and spill that in case you can say you heard it first from Camille. And then Drew Hill had a new song that was like the wedding song of all wedding songs, I feel like. But I have yet to hear that out either. But I haven't been doing a lot of driving, which is where I mostly hear the radio. But you know, inside the house is more PG-rated music. Thanks, new artists that can't not say every body part in your song. You know, I'm still a mom. So can you tell everyone about that? Because I can't wait.
So the Heat DJs, it's an incredible platform for indie artists to get on the line. It's once a month. We have the Heat DJ call. Indie artists can get on the line and they can break a new song, they can break a new record, and then they get feedback from DJs worldwide. Heat DJs is represented in every state, and it's also, we have DJs represented overseas as well in London, Paris, Hong Kong, Germany, Africa. So it's a worldwide unit. We usually have anywhere from 2,500 or 3,000 DJs on the line. The majority of the people on the line are DJs, but we also have labels that come on the line. We usually have Def Jam, Atlantic, Interscope. We also have other music execs on the lines. We have publishers, bloggers, journalists. One called Netflix even called in, which kind of threw everyone for a loop. But you know, even Netflix was on the line. Yeah,
I'm like, hello, your actor friend.
So it's an incredible platform for them, an opportunity for them to get their music heard worldwide. And the music that they break on the call then goes into our record pool for 6 weeks of rotation. And we usually also have special major artists who come on the line who break their new music as well. So, you know, for all the younger generations who tend to say that the older generation need to stay in their lane and, you know,
I don't get that at all.
The thing is, they're still making music, they're still touring, and their new music really isn't dated either. It's up to par. It's, you know, in this century, as the kids say that it's not.
And it's also the foundation for where their music comes from.
Yes,
so it's one of those like you got to respect your elders if you want to get further, because you can learn some things from them. I know I do.
Absolutely. So they come on the line and they break new music. If they don't have any new music, then they usually just drop some gems for, you know, all the artists on the line, because artists can come on the line as well and listen and get feedback from those special guests. The other great thing too is that all the music that is featured on the call, whether it's a major artist or an indie artist, then gets uploaded to the Heat DJ website, where any DJs can go in there and access all the music that was on the call. And it connects them directly to the artist if they want drops or interviews, et cetera, et cetera. And then they have all that new music before anybody else. So it really is a great platform.
It is. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to be part of it too, because I know before all these lives were happening,
Right.
whenever you guys would have that show, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play this while I'm in the shower because I know I'll
Right.
have good music without any commercials. But then a lot of times I would just end up hanging out like, no, I gotta say
Yes.
something because this was amazing,
Yes.
or so on. Like it was so much fun because
Yes.
that would be like I would love listening to it, and there was like
Yes.
back to back to back great artists.
It's a great opportunity for everybody, regardless of the level that you're at in your music. It really is, just to get your music heard. And the DJs are wonderful. Even if they're maybe not feeling the track, they're going to give constructive criticism because they're going to do it in a way that's professional. They don't insult anybody or say, "Oh, this is trash." They're really, constructive.
Or they just won't say anything. Like
Right,
they'll just be
exactly.
silent.
Exactly.
I know that's what I do. I'm like, and
Right.
mute button just to be safe.
Right. Right.
Because there's been times I'm like, oh yeah, no.
Yeah, me too, a couple of times.
Well, only because it wasn't something I was, but other people liked it. It was just not
Right.
me. So that's why I'm like.
And that's the good thing about it too, is because the DJs that are on the line, they're represented for so many, the East Coast, the West Coast, overseas. So the DJs have different ears for different things. So
I love when the
what
British
one
guy
DJ
comes
may
on.
like on the West Coast, a New York DJ may be like, nah, I'm not really feeling that.
Exactly.
Right. Right.
And the guy, I don't remember his name, but he's from England and he's on there always like really hype. I keep listening to him just talk. I can't understand 1 out of third word he says,
Right.
but I love him anyway because I just love hearing his voice. The way he talks about hip hop is just hilarious to me.
Yes.
To hear it from someone that sounds straight out of Shakespeare, you just got to hear it. But anyway, moving on. So your life has probably changed quite a bit since all of the lockdown happening.
Yes.
What are some of the things that you've noticed that has changed in the industry, good or bad, since this has happened?
I think one of the positive things that's happening is artists are now taking their time with music because they have the time to write it, to craft it, to master it, and to put it out properly. A lot of times, with the hustle and of just life in general, I think artists really don't map out anything or blueprint anything, and they just put out new music just to put out new music with no kind of plan at all. Yeah. So I think this is giving them the opportunity to maybe learn how to do that and drop music, properly.
I would like to bring up, I feel like since they're also on that force of always touring as well, this also gives them that break to really see what is needed. But also there was recently, Gabrielle Union came out was speaking that a lot of people of color who are in the industry, she was mainly speaking about the film industry, but I think it goes for all really, is that they're maybe 1 or 2 paychecks away from being broke just because they have so many other people that they're paying for part of their job. And so now having to be home and not being able to work, that's another thing I wonder about if that's a concern that's also hitting the music industry.
Right. It's crazy because I'm more busy now with artists coming to me for business than I was before the quarantine. I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know. Well, it's good for me.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, I'm more busy too. I used to be only once a day for 15 minutes. Now I'm
exactly. Exactly. So I don't know. Maybe those are artists, that are essential workers that are still out there working. I don't know, but all I can speak is for mjshiphopconnex. It's been a little bit of an overwhelming wave since the quarantine.
Now I can imagine, since a lot of artists tend to have home studios or have that ability to just go in the studio and only work with a couple of people, unlike the film industry where you kind of need an entire crew to get things made. So that makes a very valid point. I was just curious, as someone who doesn't work in the music industry but loves it from afar, so to speak, like, is it as effective? And I wonder if it's almost, with all the different DJs going live now, if it also is creating more people interested in certain musicians that maybe they had forgotten about or are interested in more. So now everyone's kind of listening to new things because there's so many DJs going live. Are any of your artists planning to do any of those types of events as well? Or anyone we should be keeping an eye out for any lives?
Well, Yo-Yo started the West Coast Wednesdays.
Yes, I love those. Okay, she's not like the Heat DJs sometimes, which is why I love it.
Yes,
because she's like,
"Ooh, awesome!" So we bring 6 artists onto Yeah, West Coast Wednesday. So we bring 6 artists onto her Instagram Live. Really quick, they tell everybody who they are, where they can find their new music, and then they pitch their pitch and shoot their shit, and they rap for her, they sing for her, whatever their talent is, and then she shares her feedback, and she definitely shares her feedback.
And I will say, she's not mean.
Not at all.
I've never seen her mean, but she'll just be more direct with it.
Yes.
Oh, you're really good, but you need to work on your vocals. Or,
which is good, because that's what they need to hear. They need to hear, what do I need to work on? What do I need to improve? Right. Now, the listeners on the live are not so nice.
No.
But.
Nope. Because I have to admit, there was one time, like, is she reading her rap? Like, is that what we're doing right now?
Yes.
Yeah,
I remember that one.
With Yo-Yo. I think you were there. I think you were there that time.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Because I closed out. Because I was like, nope, I don't want that negative energy on me.
Right, exactly.
I couldn't control my mind from all the negative things it was thinking, because I was like, I could have done that. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So needless to say. Now, you're a career woman. So you're not only working as MJ the publicist, but you're also a mom. How are you balancing all of that with having to homeschool as well as still run a career from home? A lot of parents are going through this. So I'd love to hear how you're balancing it all.
Doing it. You know what it is? I just think as women, it's in our nature to not think or dwell on things. Mm-hmm. We just do what we have to do. We don't question it. We just do it. And I think that's what it really boils down to. It's challenging. It's hard. It's, my patience are through the roof. I want to give my daughter homeschool detention sometimes, but it's difficult.
Yeah, you're like, why does that really work? Where can I send you?
Exactly. Where's the teacher's
crawl
lounge?
space?
Right. So it's hard because what they're learning completely different than how we learned when we were growing up. And some of the things that she's learning, I didn't even learn until I was in, middle school. Like at 10 years old, they're learning things that I'm like, what?
It's way too hard. I would agree with that.
It's difficult.
You're not teaching them cursive, but let me teach you all these terms that you still won't need to know when you get older.
Exactly. And the math is insane. I can't.
Yeah.
It's insane. It really is. So it's a struggle. And then my both boys, one is home because he's on unemployment now because he was working at Planet Fitness. So he's home not knowing what to do with himself, and everyone's bickering because everyone has their own personality.
Wait, now what are the ages? Just so I have a better visual of what's going on.
20, 17, and 10.
Ooh.
Yes, 20 and 17, both boys, and then my 10-year-old is a girl.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's chaotic in this household.
I feel for you, and this too shall pass. That's all I got.
Yes, it will.
So I have to ask some more questions about music business, of course.
Sure.
What do you think, with all of this, once this is all over with, what do you think will be the first thing that you're going to promote for your artists to do? Will you feel like it's safe enough to do concerts? Like, where are your plans of like?
I would love to see them get back on the stage. And not only just performances or conferences, or touring, but the networking events are so crucial too. Okay. It's so important for artists to network and build on a daily basis. They have to get out to those networking events. They have to get to, any kind of performance that they can get on the stage, because there's so many A&Rs that are usually in the audience that you don't even know. And that's where it happens. So it's crucial. So I would love to see them back on the stage. And I know a lot of them miss it. And that's where they really want it, because that's where the magic happens. Yeah. That's where the music comes to life. So I definitely am going to push that when it's all clear and ready to go. It's important. And, we had DJ Wonder and a couple of labels on one of the Heat DJ calls. And an artist asked, how do I get you my music? And I forget the gentleman's name from Atlantic Records, said, if you're hot, then I'll know. You don't have to send me anything, because if you're hot, then I'll know. And he went on to add that you need to be at every show. You need to be at every event. so I can hear and see that you're hot. Don't just email me your music.
Okay.
I'm gonna know through the grapevine that you're the next the next biggest thing. So that's crucial. You got to be out there.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Any other tips that you would give for up and coming artists as far as reaching out to you? I know you said don't just send me a link, do
Right.
more, but what signs do you look for to be like, I'm interested in this person, or what would set them apart?
Definitely they need to be humble.
Okay.
Number one. And I think for the younger generation, even though they have their own lane and they're making different music than from the the 90s or the early 2000s, I think it's still important. It's crucial for them to still know the history and know the people who made that history, even if that's not the style of music they're going to make. So any artist coming my way needs to be humble and needs to know that history and really understand it and really grasp it. And then I know that they have an open mind. Sometimes artists come to you, because they have a hot single out, the DJs are spinning in the clubs, that they don't have to do anything else. Their music is going to sell itself and I'm going to be the next biggest thing. So definitely humbleness takes you a long, long way. I had a 16-year-old reach out to me. She wanted to be on Yo-Yo's West Coast Wednesdays. And she blew me away. Hi, my name is so-and-so. I'm from so-and-so. She really sold herself. And then she said, here's my music. I'd love for you to take a listen. I'd love to hear any kind of feedback you're willing to give. This 16-year-old, her mindset just blew me away. It really did, because there are grown people in the business that don't even send emails like that. So
good to
definitely
know.
the approach, you need to be humble. You need to be open-minded. You need to be willing to work outside the box. All that stuff is definitely crucial and imperative.
Okay, those are great tips. I'm
Yes.
gonna run through to see any comments we have. Everybody's just saying hi for the most part. Olivia says hi. Danielle says hi. Goldie, we talked about her nephew. And she's giving us crap. What, you guys have to go watch Versus Battle. So I'm gonna try. They're doing, who is it? Jill Scott and Erykah Badu. I'm like,
oh, see, now that one I might watch.
I might watch that one.
Yeah, that one I might watch.
Because at first, when I first saw it, for some reason, I was thinking Lauryn Hill, and I'm like, well, she's not going to show up for hours.
Right,
Then I was like, well, no, it's Erykah Badu. I'm going to be there. But at first, I don't know, for some reason. Yeah,
I'm
I'll
definitely
check it out.
fan of both. Definitely a fan of both.
I definitely like to support women first.
Yeah, of course.
I'm just that girl.
Absolutely.
So, and he signed on The World Needs to Know About Him. So we got great advice from MJ on how to make that happen.
Excellent.
And Nicole says that's great training ground that Yo-Yo is providing. Very true.
Absolutely.
Very true. And I'm gonna have to remove our names just to make sure this can be seen, because it's a long message. Eugene mentions, without cursive, how will kids learn to sign their name on documents such as titles for cars and houses? Been battling the Board of Ed for on that one for a while. They can't even read the Constitution. That's in cursive. And the funny thing is, I'm a kid that kind of like for the first 12 years of my life, I grew up abroad. They learn cursive over there.
Yeah.
So only Americans aren't gonna learn cursive.
Right.
All the other countries with the same letters.
Definitely with him. Because even in high school, they send home the football packets for me and my son to sign, and he has to print and sign. And when he gets to the signature part, this was a couple of years ago, he was like, what's my signature? The same as how I print?
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is sad. But it wasn't his fault, because they don't teach it no more.
Yeah, no. And so like during this homeschooling thing, that's one thing I did make my daughter do before they put everything back on devices. I made her do all her homework in cursive, because I was like, at least I can read it, because I'm dyslexic. So reading cursive is way easier than reading print.
Right.
Anyway, so.
Right.
But nope, here they go. Back to devices.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, wait, what did all those doctors and pediatricians said about the limit of devices? But here you want me to spend 3 hours of my child's day every day on a device?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
It's a little much.
It is.
A little much. Especially for the homework. I'm like, It's
Yeah,
been a little out of control with that part.
definitely.
So I must ask, since you are completely connected, who are you listening to? What are you binge watching right now?
I'm kind of, like I said, I guess I would be like in old school, because I still listen to, the 90s hip hop. I'm a huge Common fan. I'm a huge Mos Def fan. I do like Jay-Z. There's also a lot of indie artists that I listen to too. Anybody from Mike Hand's crew. Mike Hand's is from Them Recordings. He's with Def Squad out of New York. Anybody in his camp I listen to. Rockness, a lot of New York. I'm East Coast.
No, you're Philly, right?
Yeah,
Is that right? Yeah.
Jersey. I'm Jersey.
Oh, where in Jersey?
So I'm actually close to Atlantic City. I'm on the Jersey Shore.
Oh, wow. So I know you love that show. Just kidding.
No.
The closer people live to the Jersey Shore,
Yeah,
the more they hate that show.
You're not kidding. No, definitely not.
So, it's funny. I lived in Jersey just for a little bit, but I used to love that show because I was just like, that's why.
Right.
Yeah, it explained a lot because it's like, why is everybody the same complexion as me, but
Right.
not necessarily the same? It was very confusing.
Exactly.
Very confusing.
Exactly. It's crazy.
So now it explained a lot. So
Yes.
all right. Well, I just want to make sure, is there anything that you wanted to share before I let you go? Because I want to be mindful of entrepreneurs' time this week, because I know you were super busy up until the very minute you got on. And
Yes.
I follow you on all of your platforms, so I see all that you still have to do tonight.
Yes.
So I don't want to hold you up for sure. But is there anything
I would just say, if you need to reach out for me for any PR services, whether it's
what does
relations, pretty much a publicist does everything except the show bookings. I don't deal with janky promoters. I don't go into that lane. That's not my lane. So our job is to keep the spotlight on the artist. Appearances, magazines, blogs, radios, that's what we do. So any artists that need any of that, or then there's the artist development side of it as well that I do too. Social media management and marketing, bios, EPKs, press releases, all of that. If any artist needs assistance with that, again, I'm mjshiphopconnex. That's CONNEX on all social media platforms. They can find me anywhere, Google, everywhere.
It's really easy to find you.
It pretty is. Yeah, it is.
Okay, so Gene, he is from Jersey, so he was like, you can't just say AC without saying where. I don't know why I go Jersey. Anytime I'm like quoting somebody from Jersey, I don't know why I just went Jersey right there. Sorry, that was a horrible Jersey accent, sir. But he said there's probably native New Jerseys listening. So where in Jersey?
Barnegat. I'm from Barnegat.
Okay,
if that helps in any way.
I've never been to, I don't think I've been to Atlantic City. I know I've been to Newark.
Right.
But we were in Mahwah in Ramsey area of Jersey. So.
Okay.
But very short time. So I wouldn't I
Okay.
couldn't tell you anything geography-wise about Jersey. But I was satisfied with AC, but
Right.
All right. Okay, great. I just realized, I was like, oh wait, let me explain. Make sure you explain what a publicist does in the music industry, because I've had friends who hired publicists before hiring agents in the film industry, and I was like, wait, why? Because if you don't have any jobs, what are they promoting?
Exactly.
Or but I see that since you're doing the artist development as well, I can see why that would be important. But they would already have their own music, at least by that point.
And it's important for the artist to know the difference between a booking agent, a manager, and a publicist, because they're all different. A lot of times artists just get one person on their team and expect that one person to be all three hats. And it doesn't work like that. An artist really needs to have a team around him, and everyone truly needs to stay in their own lane and be able to just come together and do what we need to for a successful campaign for the artist. But completely different jobs, completely different job descriptions. I get a lot of people that hit me up and say, I need gigs, I need paid gigs. That's not what a publicist does.
Yep, totally understand that. All right, well, make sure, is there anything else you want to share before we go?
No, just thank you for having me.
Oh, it was my pleasure. Thank you for all your help as well, because you've been amazing with helping me book some of my favorites.
My pleasure.
I mean, Yo-Yo is almost the reason I stayed at my previous job because I was like, I can't believe I'm giving up interviewing with her. And it was Raw Digga. I think I'd already
Oh, that's
scheduled as well.
amazing.
And so for you to just make that still happen for me,
Oh, that's amazing.
always
I'm so
indebted.
happy.
Anytime. You can send anybody my way at any point and I'll make it happen.
Excellent.
All right. Well, great. Thank you so much for being a part of the eSpot
My
with
pleasure.
Camille this week. And
My pleasure.
good luck to you with your kids, with homeschooling, and
You
with all
too.
your social work, also known as publicist work. Okay.
Yes.
And I will definitely see you on, or hear you on May 20th for the next Heat DJ.
Yes, ma'am.
20th, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
8
And then
p.m., May 20th.
I'll be there. And not to mention every West Coast Wednesdays, I might see you in the comments. Because sometimes I have to admit, I'll hear these people. I'm like, maybe I'll just try and freestyle and see what happens.
Hey, go for it.
But I'm gonna be more prepared because Yo-Yo's not making fun of me. And all the comments, I probably would just laugh too hard. I don't know. It would be fun.
I love it. I love it.
Well, again, thank you so much, MJ, and I hope you
Yes.
have a great rest of your week. You are a
You
great start
too.
to Monday for
You
sure.
too.
All right,
Take
thank
care.
you. Oh, it was my pleasure. You take care as well.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. How cool was she? Oh, she's amazing. I really hope that you go and check her out. If you're interested or know someone that's interested, go find her. She's super easy. As you can see, she's super friendly to talk to as well, but she'll help those artists, whoever they may be, that you may know that may need that extra push or has had a hard time getting around those gatekeepers. Here's your solution. MJ is the one. She's amazing. She's nice. She's friendly, easy to talk to. Go ahead and hit her up. Now, for the rest of the week, oops. Do I have my calendar nearby? Oh, no, I took it downstairs. I forgot to bring it back up. Well, the next week is going to be completely amazing. It's all women entrepreneur leaders this week, all in different genres. Today, MJ was for music, Monday music. I didn't plan that, but it worked out. Tomorrow is a movie director, producer, Jen Hollowell. It will be tomorrow. Wednesday, please let me be right. Please let me be right. Is Season Bennett. She is the social media maven behind Kim Kimball, who I had last week. The hairstylist behind Beyonce. Her publicist or social media maven. She's going to be on next week or Wednesday, not next week. Wednesday. Thursday is a twofer at 2:00. I'm going to have Dr. Anika from Opulent Magnetic Lashes. She's going to share a little bit about her company, explain it. She's an ophthalmologist who came up with her own lashes. I don't know if you noticed, but last week I was done with lashes. I couldn't take it anymore. They were driving me crazy. The glue, just like it. And I like having real lashes at the end of the week. So I just felt like they were pulling out more lashes than it was worth the look. So I'm curious about these magnetic lashes. I'm so excited to meet her, to find out how they work. And I actually ordered a pair, so we'll see if I get them in time. That's why I have her for Thursday, in hopes that I will be able to wear them and ask her questions right then and there. But that's Thursday. Friday, and then Thursday at 6, we will have, Dr. Donna Marie Wynn. She's going to be talking about her business, which she does a lot in the nonprofit world, and she's also a therapist. She's an amazing woman, a good friend. Can't wait to have her on. She's going to explain a lot about what she's doing, because she's doing things on a global level as far as with working with non-for-profits, and she's amazing. You're going to love her. She works with a company called Pathways. I don't have my cheat sheet in front of me, so I'm assuming that's the right name, or Kaleidoscope Pathways, something like that. I'll have it right by Thursday, trust me. And then Friday is my dear friend, Auntie Jackie Shelton Green. She's the North Carolina Poet Laureate, the first woman of color, Black woman, that has ever become North Carolina's Poet Laureate. So she's a huge deal here in our state. But she is also an instructor at Duke, where she teaches about documentary studies. So I'm really interested to have her on and tell us a little bit about how that's going for her and with documentaries, and also to talk a little poetry. Her voice is so soothing. It's something we need during this time. I cannot wait for you to see all the great women that I've picked out for this week. And next week is going to be another fun week as well. It's maybe bring your daughter or son to work week, because depending on whether they have a son or daughter, they're going to bring them along with them because they work together. So again, another great week. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, comment, tell your friends they need to watch, because I don't do this just to talk to myself. I do this to share with all of you. So enjoy, share it, like it. And also on Instagram, I have a contest going on that includes free products that you could win from Glow Skin Beauty. You could win a toy from Laura DiCarlo. You can win a pair of beautiful paper earrings made by Olivia Art Gallery, Olivia Gatewood. Also the maker of all my artwork, my mom. So those are also an option that you could win. And yeah, that's 3 things I mentioned, right? Glow. Yeah. Yes. So go to my Instagram page. Go check that out. Thank you so much for joining me today. I can't wait for tomorrow. See you guys then. Awkward bye time when I look for the stop button.